You have this play right here where people want to sit here and tell me that, oh boy, Caitlin Clark, what are you doing? What in the hell is Caitlin Clark doing right here? She has a one-on-one with Asia Wilson. And yes, in theory, she has to take a shot to not have a 24-second violation. But I would tell you this. I would submit to you this. A 24-second violation here would have been a better ending than what actually happened. Because right here, you got everything you want. Everything you can possibly want, you got right here on this play. You got a one-on-one with Caitlin Clark and Asia Wilson, and Caitlin Clark took a shit down her own leg. She fucking choked again because this is a blow-by play. You don't. People were arguing in my live. Bring a screen up. No, you don't bring a screen up. Why don't you bring a screen up? Because all you're doing is switching her back onto a guard. You don't bring a screen up because there's a mismatch. You do not bring the screen because look where the screen is. You got yourself on one side right here. That's Michaela Timpson. Jewel Lloyd is the one guarding Caitlin Clark. If you bring her to screen, well, guess what? Now you give her back to Jewel Lloyd. That's what they want, really. And they're not bringing. Aaliyah Boston should have been crashing towards the rim. But the reality is, you get this play right here, you run this clock down, and then you should be attacking. In fact, after the game, Stephanie White, who's always doesn't account for anything on herself, is never accountable. She says, I should have called timeout right here when I saw we weren't going anywhere. And I would say on this one, I think you're wrong, Stephanie. You don't call timeout here. The reason you don't call timeout right here is because this is the exact matchup you want. You want your star point guard going one-on-one with a 6'4" center. She blows by guards all the time. For people that say she's too slow, she blows by guards all the time. All the time. Why can't she blow by Asia Wilson? Please. She does it all the time, the guards. She did it in this game, the guards. But we're going to sit here and say, oh, she can't blow by a 6'4" slow-footed center? Stop it. Come on, man. You just have to go a little bit earlier. You can't wait around. Because what's going to happen if you blow by, when you get by, they're going to crash down, and there's going to be a dump off to Aaliyah Boston for a layup, more than likely. But we never found that out because Caitlin Clark took a shit down her own leg. And instead of blowing by, she does this. Dribble, dribble, dribble. Fine, no problem. This is fine. All this is fine. Run it down. Right here, you got to go. Right here, that's a dribble. You're going first of all, what are you going to do right here? You got Michaela Timpson in the corner. And those people that said that she was double teamed and trapped, no, she wasn't. This is a one-on-one. Asia Wilson took her cookies. Asia Wilson took her cookies tonight in this play. Kelsey Mitchell, the only other matchup that you would say is a better matchup for this play than Caitlin Clark would be Kelsey Mitchell one-on-one with Asia Wilson. Because you know Kelsey Mitchell wouldn't think twice. She'd go. That's who she is. She's also probably the quickest first step in the WNBA. But you get this. Dribble right here. Right here. What are you backing up for? See, right there. See, right here when she does this, my expectation, you go right, you cross over left and go right down the middle. And you know what then happens? They collapse on you. Michaela Timpson beelines to the rim, and you have a layup. Or you go Caitlin all the way to the rim, and she hits a shot, or she gets fouled. And even if she misses, there's going to be like 4 seconds left. They had timeouts, I believe. I see in the bottom. They had timeouts, but they didn't call timeout on the steal. However, half-court defense is different than fast break defense. When you're set, it's easier to defend than when you're in motion in a fast break. And right here, instead of crossing over and going left right down the middle, she kind of steps back as if she's going to take a step back three, which would have been a fucking terrible shot, even though the end result was worse. And that would have actually been a better decision than the one she made. Because now she's stuck. And again, now I don't know what she's doing. And there's no one moving, realistically. And then she fucking freaked out. Maybe right here is where Stephanie White needs to call timeout. Maybe right there. But top of the key? No. You don't make that call right there. You make it here if you're going to call timeout. And you want to know who else could have called timeout? Caitlin Clark could have called timeout. And she didn't. She took a shit down her own leg. She choked. That pass, I don't even know what she's thinking about. And then there are people who are in comments saying she got fouled on this. Are you out of your mind? Look at the play again. What are you talking about? She throws a weak ass looking pass. It gets hit by Wilson. There's nothing here.